Hello, this is Hansen Hackman, and welcome to my presentation. This presentation is about building a simple Docker application on AWS Cloud9. So let's get right into it. The presentation will talk about how to set up the Cloud9 project, also to connect the project to GitHub, and demonstrate a Python script I created, work on some make install files, and I finally create a Docker container and show you how to use it. So let's get started. So to get started, you can type Cloud9 to find the Cloud9 services. Now let's go ahead and create a Cloud9 project. So with that, we do create environment. Let's call this environment my Docker app 1 _1. A description: a simple Docker application. For this, since this is for only demonstration purposes, I'll be using the 1 gig RAM and 1 CPU Amazon Elastic Compute instance. And I choose the Amazon platform, Amazon LS platform, and the IAM role. Since I'm using the AWS Educate account, already creates a custom IAM role for me. And I can go to the next step. I don't really want to add any tag. Then I can just create my environment. It takes some time to create the environment. Okay, so AWS has finished creating my Cloud9 project for me. And what you can see is that it always gives you a bash window and an immediate window. And we also have an Explorer environment for you to physically navigate to your files. So at this stage, I would like to connect to GitHub, to a project I've created on GitHub. But to do that, I'm going to use SSH to connect to GitHub. To do that, I need to generate an SSH key and link the GitHub project to my Cloud9 project here. So we do SSH. Sorry, I messed up the command here. Should be the other way around. It's going to ask me for, it's going to ask me for a passphrase. I did not match up. Okay, let me try again. There you go. So I've been able to generate an SSH key. Let's view that SSH key that I created, and it is saved in this directory, in this file in this directory. Just copy and paste it here, and I open it using the cat command. Now I can quickly open it up. I can quickly copy this one here and then go to my GitHub repository and add this new SSH key. So this is going to link it. I call it my Docker. It's going to link the two. So now I have it here. Now let me now clone into it. So let's do git clone, and I can go to that project that I have. And get the SSH link. Say yes. Awesome. So now I have my files cloned into my project here. Now let me go ahead and create a virtual environment to specifically run only this project I'm working on. Virtual environments are pretty cool because they let you kind of create a separate processing environment, or a separate environment in your project or in your computer, where you can actually run your project independent of other applications. All right, I should probably cd into the project first and my Docker and do okay. Now let me source and activate it. Uh-oh. Should be activate instead of that. So now I'm now running this project in the virtual environment, and I have a couple of files here which I've already created just for demonstrating purposes here. I'll quickly run through them. So I have my make file over here, and that basically helps me to run my project. I have everything I need here. I need things I need to install, packages I need to install for my application to run, and linting tools and setup tools as well. So basically prepares my environment and helps me to run my environment, run the application the next time I come. I don't have to set up all these things again, because by just running the make file, everything will be ready for the application to run. Then I have a file here. It's a Python file I created called read content. What it does is basically look for a particular directory on my server and look for files in them and tell me the number of strings in that file. And then I have the app.py, which basically calls the read content file and outputs the number of strings in each file. Great. So with this, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to now install my packages using the make install command. Great. So now the make install file is finished running, and what basically did was to go through the make file and run this piece. So it only run the install piece of the make file, and what it does is that it's going to upgrade pip, and also upgrade files if they are already upgrade the packages they're already there, and also look into the requirement.txt file and install the other packages that I need. So that is exactly what it did. So it's done with that. Now let me quickly run the Python file that I created and show you what it's talking about. So what it's doing is exactly what I told you about. It's basically looking into a path which I provide, which I've already provided here. It's looking in the articles folder, and articles folder is actually in the same part over here. So that's why I just put the articles in the parameter of the article reader function. And in there I have two files. Long-term stock forecast.txt and monthly.txt. Let's do like a nano and just read one of them and see what is inside. So this is what is inside the file. So the Python script is going to go through and read the number of characters in it basically. So I can exit that quickly. Now with this done, and knowing that our Python is running correctly, let's create a Docker container. Now, containers are very, very helpful in the DevOps world because they make moving stuff from development to production very easy. With containers, what you are doing is that you are creating a portable kind of package or an application where everything needed to run that particular application is bundled together in this container. So whatever you did in development, when you move it to production, you are very sure that it's going to work. It's not going to happen that it runs on your desktop but fails in production. And so that is the power of Docker containers, and it makes you containerize or create different packages, different applications, and package them and deploy them into your production environment. So this is what we are going to do here, and we are going to create a Docker container to run the app.py file. So let's do that. We do Docker build, and I do tag, call it my app. It takes some time to run. Oh, looks like I made an error with the command over here. So let me try again. Spelling. Oh, what seems to be the problem? Okay, probably the casing of this is okay. It seems we're in the wrong folder, so let's go back and do ls and do Docker build tag my app dot. Great. So the container has been created. Let's now see what it looks like. So let's do Docker image ls, and there we see we have our application, the Docker container application, my app, and this is the size of it when it was created and the image ID. So now let's see, once we have this application created, this Docker container created, can we use it? Can we shell into it? That is what we're going to see. So let's shell into the Docker application using the bash. And there we go. So now this container is basically housing all my project files, the Python script, the makefile, and everything that I need to run this application is bundled in this Docker container, or which is also an image, and we can easily move this into production. So let me do Python app.py, and it runs within the container. So that is the power of containers, and this is basically what I was trying to demo in this particular presentation here. And AWS Cloud9 makes it very easy. AWS Cloud makes it very easy for Docker applications to be created and to be deployed to your production environment. And then I believe you learned a lot over here, and thank you for your time.